it can happen within 24 hours, 48 hours of shifting that story that we tell ourselves. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a super simple and proven to work formula to help you to level up the relationships in your life and attract better quality people into your social circle. What we're doing here with this technique is changing things, creating a shift on a deep, energetic level where you start to become a magnet for a totally different kind of human being. Step 1. Before anything else, it's so important to work on your belief that things can change, that things can be different, and that the relationships you've had in the past, whether romantic or platonic, do not have to be a prediction of your future relationships. What we're doing here with this technique is changing things, creating a shift on a deep, energetic level where you start to become a magnet for a totally different kind of human being. So that is step 1, is to believe that things can be different for you, that you deserve a better quality social circle or romantic partner, and believe and know that you have the power to attract it. So what I invite you to do is journal about this. Write down and explore. Feel free to even pause this video while you really go into this step 1 and ask yourself, are there any beliefs that you currently have? And beliefs are really stories that you tell yourself, and maybe those beliefs come from stories that other people told you, and then you started telling yourself those stories that those people were telling you, and they've ended up becoming beliefs, okay? So are there any beliefs or stories that you tell yourself that you can't have someone better, or that you're not a good enough or interesting enough person or attractive enough person to have good friends or a good partner? Write these limiting beliefs out, because it's important to acknowledge, okay, hang on, what's going on here? What stories have I been telling myself? And we're going to let them go. So once you've got clear on those stories that you have been telling yourself, now it's time to rewrite the story and start telling yourself a new story, and start to then, with repetition, end up believing that new story. This is essentially a form of like healthy, positive brainwashing. So what you're going to do with each of those negative, limiting beliefs that you've written down is you're going to write the opposite of each of those beliefs down on the next page. If you wrote, I'm unlovable, no one would ever love someone like me, the opposite of that would be, I am so lovable, I'm so easy to love, and so many people would love someone like me. Remember that it's impossible for a human being to be completely unlovable. That really is one of those stories that someone who was in a lot of pain themselves would have said, and it's not true, even if it feels true. And if you can really dedicate and commit yourself to this is still step 1 that we're looking at here. If you can decide that you're going to let go of those old stories, and with repetition and talking to yourself in the mirror and reading these things out and writing them over and over again in your journal, you can make changes in your subconscious mind to change the story that you've been telling yourself. Then you're changing the story that you're radiating out to the world and to the universe. So go back to that first page where you wrote those limiting beliefs and cross them out. Watch yourself cross it out. Watch yourself destroy and get rid of that incorrect, wrong, crossing it out. It's not the right answer. It's the wrong answer. We're crossing it out because it's not true. It's not the one. Yeah, watch yourself get rid of that belief, and in a safe, and if you want to, you can even go into your bathroom or outside in a bucket with water and burn the piece of paper either over the sink or over the bucket of water so that you're doing it safely. Now, all you're left with is that new story, those positive opposites to the statements that you made. You should have now a page of one or more positive statements that are the opposite to what you said before. And these are your affirmations. These are your new stories that you're telling yourself. These are your new beliefs to remind yourself of multiple times a day. For example, I've had multiple people in my team who struggled with attracting the right customers for their business. And when they came to me and they told me, oh, Lucie, I'm really struggling to get any customers. Nobody wants to buy my product, da 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 da. I would say to them, well, look at the stories that you're telling yourself. Let's create an opposite of those statements. And so we created a page that read something like, everybody wants to buy my products. Everyone's interested in my products. Everybody who hears the price of my product is really happy to pay that money. I just love helping people and it's so easy to get customers. And they started reading these new statements that were the opposite of the old statements multiple times a day. And I kid you not, it's happened multiple times where then those members of my team have come back to me and said, oh my God, Lucie, just got a new customer, or can you help me with this order that I've just got? I'm so excited. I just got my first order. It can happen within 24 hours, 48 hours of shifting that story that we tell ourselves. But it must be done consistently, because another thing that I've found is that old habits can creep back in, and you can try a technique like this and it might give you a momentary change, but what we're really looking for here is long-term change, so that you can not only attract better people into your life, but you can keep them rather than then maybe self-sabotaging and sending them away. Step 2 is to now start looking at who you want to attract into your life. And when I say who, I mean I want you to write down a list of all the qualities, characteristics, traits of the person or people that you would love to have in your life. If it's a romantic partner, if it's your dream husband or wife, if it's the friendship group that you dream that you could have, if it's the best friend that you wish that you had, write down a list of all the qualities and be as extreme and demanding about it as you want, okay? Because we're looking to attract the best of the best here. And you can attract the best of the best, especially when you implement step 3, which I will touch on after this. So write down a list now of all the qualities that you want in a friend or in a partner. We could be talking about good at listening, whether they're generous, whether they often reach out to you to want to meet up, whether they just love you unconditionally for who you are and support all of the things that you're really passionate about. Maybe you want to attract people who have the same passions as you. Maybe you want to attract someone who is really physically attracted to how you look. Or maybe you want to attract someone who really connects with you on a deep intellectual level. Maybe you want to attract friends who you feel really comfortable with. You don't have to be someone else or worry about what they think about you. You can just feel so calm and secure in their presence. Maybe you want to attract people who are fun and spontaneous and make you laugh, so that your life is filled with so much fun and laughter and adventure. Maybe it's really important to you to have friends who are punctual, or who stay true to their word, or who you can really trust. Friends who don't talk about you behind your back, or who are loyal and who are trustworthy. Whatever it is that you want, write down that list now. And you can even, get into like, what are they passionate about? Do they take care of their health? Do they care about how they look? Are they really cool and stylish? Are they into this particular kind of music? Do they come from this kind of background or that kind of background? What do they do? What do they do career-wise? What do they do creative-wise? Do they love to party? Or maybe you want to attract friends who would prefer a really wholesome night in. Whatever you want, pause this video now and write your dream list. Now, it's time to go down that list and check all of, put a tick or a check mark next to all of the ones that you can genuinely say, no lies now, you can genuinely say that you are that already. And I'm talking on a deep, inherent, energetic level. Like, it's part of who you are, it's part of what you stand for, it's one of the things that you're proud of that you are as a person. Only put a tick next to the ones that you can say, yes, I am that, on a deep level, not on a fake level, because the universe doesn't do fake, okay? The universe does vibration. You might be saying one thing, but if you're actually being another, being is what it's actually all about. So then any of the things on the list that you couldn't put a check or a tick next to, these are areas where you get to do the personal development and the inner work and take the time and practice becoming, embodying all of those other things on your list. If you wish that you had friends who didn't talk behind your back, check yourself and make sure that you're not talking behind your friends' backs. Become that loyal, trustworthy person yourself. Or if you want someone who is, comfortable expressing their emotions and good at communicating, work on becoming someone who's good at expressing their emotions and communicating. If you want someone who's not going to get paranoid or jealous of you, also make sure that you're not being a paranoid and jealous person either. So what's really great about this is that in the process of manifesting so many better people, you're also about to become you 2.0. And also what's great about you 2.0 is that you 2.0 is going to have all the traits, all the attributes of the person that you would want to spend the most time with ideally. So what a great bonus is that actually, that as well as this being a process, and we're going to get to the end, don't you worry, stay with me, as well as this being a process that's going to help you to attract these people into your life, also, you're going to love yourself a ton more. You're going to love hanging out with yourself, being in your own company. In fact, you're going to feel more confident. You're going to have more self-esteem, more self-respect, because you are becoming the person that you think is the best human being on the planet, right? Your ideal list. That brings us on to the next step. Once you have become the list, and it may take days, months, weeks, years, right? It could take time to become this version of you, and it's up to you how much you're going to prioritize becoming and changing into this person that you want to become. Once you've become the list, you can let the list go. You can put the list away somewhere for one day on your wedding day when you open it up and you're like, oh my God, my dream husband who I'm getting married to today is literally all of the things that I wrote down, or whatever, right? So put the list away once you've become that version of yourself, and enjoy being you 2.0. Live life fully. And this is really important. Don't just think, okay, this is Lucie trying to palm me off with the be happy now crap, right? I'm telling you that it's a huge part of the manifestation process to feel like you're living in enoughness already. This is stuff that I learned from an amazing woman called Andrea, who actually used this technique and told her real life story of how she manifested her dream husband using this technique. And a major part of the technique was that she decided to also move from being in a state of feeling like she didn't have what she needed to be happy yet. I'll be happy when this person's in my life. My life is good, but it's not good enough. And she decided to actually look at her life differently and start to acknowledge all of the ways that her life is already amazing, and choose to feel so happy and complete and whole and complete and whole as she is right now, so that there's no like, I'm still in the lack of what I need to be happy. She started living in enoughness. Let's just take a moment now, rather than this just being a video where I talk at you. Let's allow this to be an opportunity to find that feeling now. Okay, so there's more things. There'll always be more things. There'll always be more people. There'll always be boxes that need ticking. But is it possible to draw your attention with deep gratitude and count your blessings for a second? And acknowledge how many things in your life you actually wouldn't want to lose because they're really great. I'm even talking about having clean air and an abundance of drinkable water. A home to live in, a phone to capture memories and communicate with people, to access YouTube videos, right? Wow, look at all the blessings that we have. Is it possible to feel right now like my life is more than good enough already? I choose to feel happy about my life right now. Inviting more things in, inviting better all the time, but I choose to look at my life and feel good about it. Breathe that in. Feels good, right? Now we get to practice living in this state. And you don't have to wait until you've completed step 1 and step 2 and writing your list and burning it and writing your other list and becoming all of those things. Like, we can practice, we can start feeling good enough, feeling like our life is good enough, feeling grateful for everything that we have, everything that we are. We can feel that now. In fact, it's kind of a major part of this manifestation thing. So where are we up to? You've become you 2.0. You've let the list go. You've put it away somewhere. You are having fun. You're living life fully. You're living in enoughness. Now make sure that you also say yes to and follow the impulses and ideas that feel good. If you have an opportunity to go to a certain place and you're in this place where you're feeling good and you're feeling positive and you're feeling like you're living in enoughness, follow that impulse, because you never know who you're going to end up meeting when you go to that place or you say yes to that thing. This is where then the universe is going to match you up with people who are on the same frequency as you, the people who are on your vibe. And of course, because you've become you 2.0, those people are going to be equally as attracted to you as you are to them. So your best people will be drawn to you and you will be drawn to them. The whole idea and magic of this is that, there are people everywhere. There's hardly a shortage of people. And when you're also aware of the stories that you tell yourself, maybe you tell yourself a story that there's a shortage of good people in the world, or that there's a shortage of men who aren't toxic or women who aren't whatever. But those are just stories. We're talking billions, right? There's billions of people on this planet. There's plenty, okay? Plenty of people who fit the characteristics of you've written down on that list. I remember before I grew my YouTube channel, I thought I was the only weird person in the village. You know what I mean? I thought I was the only person on the planet who was into the stuff I was into. And then thanks to the algorithm directing my content towards people who would like my content, suddenly I discovered that there are thousands, if not millions, of people who share the same mindset as me and who are passionate about the same things as me. And that was a real realization for me, because sometimes we can look at the people who we grew up with, the people in the same town or community as us, and if we don't see eye to eye with them, or we don't have the same mindset, we don't have the same core values, we can think that we're weird or an outsider, or that nobody can get us. But these people do exist. Your people exist on the planet right now. And the more that you can live into actually being and embodying the person that is those things, great, tick. The more that you can acknowledge that there's plenty of those people who exist in the planet, and you're not saying that, or not feeling like they're hard to find. They're everywhere. It's easy. They're walking around the planet all the time. I've now got this image of people literally walking around the planet all the time. Obviously, sometimes they sleep, but you know what I mean. And when you start living in enoughness rather than living in a state of lack, these are the 3 beautiful components of what I've shared today that can help draw these people to you. So if you found that useful, give this video a thumbs up, please. Thank you so much. Also, you might be interested in watching the video where Andrea submitted her story, and I read her story of how she manifested her dream husband using this technique, if you want some more proof to get you excited about it. So I will make sure that that is linked at the end of this video. Also, if you want more support from me, there's a few ways that you can get that. So one way is that you can become one of my YouTube members, and by paying a small monthly subscription, you get access to an entire and ever-growing library of courses and more exclusive content and more long-form content that maybe the algorithm wouldn't be so obsessed with, but I know is so super valuable, and so it's there in my YouTube members area. So you can press the join button or click the link in the description to sign up for that. Also, I currently have a limited number of spots available to become one of my manifestation clients. So if you'd like a 30-minute or 60-minute one-to-one conversation with me so that you can talk to me about what you want to attract into your life, and I can suggest ways that you can go about it that's personalized to you, then you can apply for one of those spaces. So again, the information will be down in the description below. Also, I've recently launched a podcast, which I'm so excited about. And in fact, Andrea, the woman who I've been mentioning on this video a couple of times, she's going to appear in one of my upcoming episodes. And if that episode is live already, I will put it in the description below, or you can check out the other episodes now. If you're into nutrition and wellness, which I also am really into, and you want to connect and see how you can get access to offers on all of the best wellness supplements that I personally use and love, you can sign up to become one of my VIP customers. So I will put the link to do that down below as well. Thank you for watching this video. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring my bell so that you never miss another video. Until next time, bye.